Okay, we are live. Good morning. This is Attorney Vincent Davis. It's Saturday morning, and we're doing our show this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm joined by my two beautiful co-hosts, Miss Georgette Truin. Miss G, how are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you.
And we're also joined by a co-host, Cassandra Woodard. Miss Woodard, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Okay, and we have a very special guest. Amy, is it Ulcher?
Euclid.
Euclid,
Euclid.
okay. All right, Amy Euclid. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Amy, how
You
are
look
you this?
beautiful, Amy, by the way.
Thank you.
Amy, where are you located?
I'm in Roseburg, Oregon.
Oh, okay. Where is that in relationship to Redmond?
Redmond. I'm not sure where Redmond is. I moved out here in 2006. I'm not really too familiar with a lot of the states close by or the cities and towns close by.
You know, I'm trying to think. Oh,
I've heard of it though.
Have you ever heard of Deschutes County?
Yes.
A couple years ago, I did a case there in Deschutes.
Yeah.
So I would fly into Redmond, and I can't think of the name of the actual city, but it was Deschutes County.
Maybe Bend, Oregon, or
Bend, yes, it was
Yeah.
Bend, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
How could I forget that? Yeah, Bend,
That's not
Oregon.
very far from here.
Oh, really?
It's about maybe an hour west, I think. Yeah, west. It's about an hour west of here.
You know, that's such a beautiful part of the country.
It really is.
Country. One day, I was doing the case with another attorney and the client, and they're both from the Bend area, and they took me to lunch at a restaurant that was on the river there, and it was just fascinating watching the river, watching people float down. Apparently, you can go start at some point and float down the river, and there's a tram that takes you back.
Yes.
So you could do it again and again, or just get in your car, drive away. Yeah, it was really, really pretty country. I understand that the prices there, especially during COVID, skyrocketed because a lot of people were moving there, to live there.
Yeah.
So you're in Oregon. Is it snowing there now?
No, it's been raining though, off and on. Not like real heavy rain, but a little bit.
So one of the things I found out about Oregon is that your CPS, I guess, model is run by the state, not by the counties. Like in California, it's run by the counties and not the state.
Yeah.
It's different from state to state. I think Arizona is one of those states as well that does it by state, but every state does it differently. So you have, as I recall, it was DHS. Is that accurate?
Yes, Department of Human Services.
Right, and that's your CPS.
Yeah.
And I guess you guys have regional state offices. So where is the CPS office that you were dealing with? What city?
I'm sorry, what?
What city was the CPS office that you're dealing with?
What city? Oh, Roseburg.
Okay.
Douglas County.
All right. They've had some significant lawsuits against them.
Yes, they have.
And where they've lost, millions and millions of dollars.
I want to go after them.
So tell me about your case. What happened?
Well, so far I'm not sure because the birth mom who was living with us, she moved out. She was not doing her part, I guess you could say. And so we got into an argument over her not clean. I wanted her to get up, clean her room because I'm a clean person. I'm a clean freak. And she was just, for 2 months, she laid in that room and that bed and just laid there and didn't do nothing. She was just building a wall of shit up around her. Wall of crap up around her. And I couldn't stand the smell. There was a bad smell coming out of there. And I was sick.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So your involvement with CPS was as a parent or a foster parent?
Neither. Well, I was a parent. I would say I was a parent. I raised the child. I watched her come into this world, and I raised her. I co-parented with the child with her father, her birth father.
For how many years?
5 years.
And what happened at the end of 5 years?
Well, her half sister made an accusation against her father of sexual abuse, and judge ordered all of the girls to be removed and put into foster care immediately. And they told us to go. My husband and I, they told us to go get certified to be foster parents. And I was already a safety service provider for this child from the day she was born. I became a safety service provider and was a safety service provider for this child for her. In her life, did everything for her in her life, everything. Got her into school. I mean, she stayed with me 5 days a week, 6 days a week. I mean, she was hardly ever at all with her at home with her father. Her mother really didn't see her. I mean, I wouldn't take her to her home because she just wasn't clean enough. It was not safe. And so I raised her. They took her. They lied to me. They lied to me from day one. We were good enough to be safety service providers. We were good enough to be to go through the foster application process, and was told that if we got certified and got her home opened up, that we could get her back. Well, that was a big lie. But we did get our home opened up, only to have it closed like 3 days later.
Well, were you given any rights to the child?
We were able to go see her once a week up until about, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago, maybe even a year now. They just all of a sudden took our visits away because they said that the child said she would commit suicide if she ever had to come back and see my husband and I, the two people that loved her and raised her.
Do you believe she said that?
No.
At any time, did you ever consult with an attorney about going to court and getting rights to the child?
I couldn't find an attorney here that would touch the case.
What would they tell you?
They just told me that there's just no way they would take the case, that there's not many. I guess I keep getting told that there's it's just not going to happen. I even got in touch with the attorney. I can't even remember his name, but he's actually in a lawsuit right now with them, and he's suing them over failure to neglect a couple of boys. And so there's a lawsuit going on about that.
Failure to protect?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what was done to the boys, but I mean, it's screwed up, of course. But
can he take your
lawyer? Huh?
Can he take your case, Amy? Did he say he can take your case or no?
No, he said he could not.
Why not?
He just said he only takes cases of children that are like sexually abused or abused. And I said, you know what? Well, how about this? Isn't brainwashing abuse? Isn't getting children to lie? Isn't that abuse? I mean, there's all forms of abuse. And he said I would be lucky to find an attorney in Oregon that would touch this case. He said there's just no way. And we've called so many attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sue them. I mean, I want to go after them.
Do you want to sue them, or do you want to try to get the child back, or both?
Both.
Has the child been adopted to someone, or
not yet? No.
How about placed with other relatives?
Nope. She has plenty of relatives too in this town.
How old is this child now?
She's now 7.
Do you know why the relatives haven't gone to court to try to get custody?
Well, they just don't want to do it. They said they can't handle those kids. They can't handle the girls, and they don't want to do it. And they've had them before because the girls were in the system before. And then right when my daughter was born that I raised, they had just spent 4 years to get their girls back, and they just got their girls back. They didn't get their boys back. The half sisters and her brothers, but their brothers were adopted out, and he got the girls back. That was it. And then Tesla was just born, and so he had them for about 4 or 5 years, I guess, again, and that's it.
I just want to tell you something, Amy. I've known you for 2 years now. Okay, you and I are very close.
Yeah.
When you explain yourself to an attorney about your case, I don't think you're explaining it right. And the way I know the case is to be a very good lawsuit for you and to get that child back. But I think you're just explaining yourself. You're not clear when you explain yourself. You know what I mean? Like you get
Yeah.
a little bit emotional, maybe, as we
Yeah.
all do when we're dealing with our children. But I think if you would have explained yourself a little bit different the way you talk to me, that attorney might understand clearer, clearly, and take your case.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
have
know,
a few more to call.
Amy,
Yeah.
uh, I did a video on YouTube. I don't know how long ago it was, but it was giving suggestions on how to present your case to a lawyer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now it's interesting. Miss G says she's been talking to you or knows you for 2 years. Okay. I don't recall ever speaking to Miss G about your case. Miss G may have mentioned it to me without your name registering, which she
Yeah.
probably did. But from your and I've never talked to you before, I don't think. But
Yeah,
from
we
what
have.
but from,
Yeah, she's been on the show a couple of times, like
has
more
she?
than a couple.
Yeah.
Because from what because what you just told me today, I don't I don't have very much information to give you any type of suggestions or opinions about getting the child back or suing them without having a more of an in-depth conversation. And of course we'd always have to have that, but we're like 10 minutes into the show and I'm wondering about the case, just trying to put the facts together.
Well,
I can I can explain it to him if you want me to, Amy.
yeah, that'd be great. Also, I have the letter here that the judge wrote about, and it talks about me and Jeff in there about how we were very good people to her, and that she was very well loved
Mhm.
in her opinion. And I mean, just it's ridiculous. I mean,
Well,
it's,
Miss G, why don't you go ahead and try to give me some more information?
Um, Amy has been taking care of the child since birth. The child's mother, I think, is challenged, and so basically, Amy is the one that is her mom. I mean, the child called her mom, and she loved her and Jeff, the husband, Amy's husband, and the child didn't want to leave. The child didn't want to leave the home at all. When social workers got involved, it was not because of Amy; it was because of the parent. And then Amy told the social worker, "I've been taking care of her for 5 years. You know, she's like my daughter." And the child kept telling the social worker, "I want to be with mommy," which is Amy. And the social worker told Amy that it's just protocol. She's just going to take the child, and then she's going to give her back to her and Jeff. So Amy and Jeff thought everything was going to be okay, but then it took a different turn. And then the social worker told her, you're not the biological parent. You can't have the child. But she said, but I've been taking care of the child. That's my child. And she had a room for her and everything, and clothing, everything. um and the social worker just kept giving her the runaround, and basically just they didn't want to leave the child with her. They would rather keep the child with a stranger that doesn't know the child. Then they came back and said the child doesn't want to come back to Amy, which is not true, because the child always wanted to come back to Amy. But they alienated Amy from the little girl, so that way, and then they will go tell the little girl Amy doesn't want to see her. So they just created a complete different chaos. um they took it to another level of crazy. And I told Amy she has a really good lawsuit, because I witnessed the room, I witnessed the child's bed, I witnessed the child's clothing. Amy and Jeff love that girl so good. I mean, so, oh my god, they love her so much. Also, Amy is a neat freak, so she's a great parent and organized and a good mom. And I've seen her house. I've talked to her husband. Me and him are close as well. I mean, she's amazing human being, and I don't get it. And I believe in my heart she has a great lawsuit, because that child deserves to be with Amy. Amy is great. She's a great
I
woman.
agree.
Yeah.
I've met her several times too, and she's so great. And it's so sad to hear her story
Yeah.
because they didn't even give her a chance. They tried to give her a chance, and then they took it right back. Like they just ripped it right from underneath her after she tried so hard and she went through all the stuff to be a safe home for the child and be a foster parent, and then they just ripped it right underneath her. Just that's it.
Yeah, they deflected. Like, I mean, they deflected and lied and deflected and lied, and they're just
You have a
they're
good
evil.
lawsuit, Amy. I'm telling you, you have a good lawsuit because I also, never mind. I'll tell you after the show. You have a good lawsuit. Okay. You do. But I wish I can talk to that attorney. I'll explain it to him. I can be a witness for you, Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're muted, Mr. Davis.
Amy, I'm not sure I can make any further comment because I was listening to Miss G, but I'm not sure she gave me enough details to, give you any suggestions. I know if you were in California, you could make a motion for what's called a de facto parent, or better yet, presumed parent,
Presume.
where you can, get the same rights as a parent. I don't know if they have that in Oregon. But they do have it here, and it's basically for people that aren't biologically related to the child, but maybe psychologically and emotionally related to the child, that can make this motion and get the same rights in a CPS or family law case. So that's something you might also want to talk about with respect to, trying to get the child placed with you. With respect to a lawsuit, I don't know if that you have a lawsuit. I don't have enough information, but one of the things I would say initially is there's something called standing in the law.
Yeah.
And it's a concept, they first teach you in your first year of law school in civil procedure. And it's a way to keep people out of court, what it really is. And they only let people sue other people that have standing. And standing means that you have some type of constitutional or statutory right that needed to be protected, in this case by the government, which they didn't protect. And I'm not sure, without you having presumed parent status or de facto status at the very minimum, that you would have standing in a case to sue CPS. Now, that doesn't mean CPS didn't do you wrong, right? From the little that I know so far, it sounds like they did. But, remember, standing is a concept to keep people out of court, to keep them from suing you. So you have to pass that first threshold test of, hey, does Amy have standing? And in my professional opinion, if the case were in California, if you had some type of connection, but no legal connection that wasn't established as of yet, you wouldn't have any standing to sue CPS. Now, you could cure that. You could try to cure that by becoming a presumed parent or de facto parent, but at this time, you don't have that yet. Right. So that's one of the things you should talk to a lawyer about, is trying to get the standing established, presumed parent or de facto parent. Does that make sense, Amy?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I think you had told me one day when looking up lawyers in Oregon how to do the search.
I don't recall. I'm sorry. What I didn't
Like
really
whenever
understand the question.
you're searching for an attorney, like in Oregon, I'm searching for an attorney that will sue CPS or whatever. I think you told me the way I was putting it in my search bar or something might have been wrong.
Okay. So if you go to Google, just type CPS civil rights attorney or lawyer.
Yeah.
And see what you come up with. Now, Oregon, relatively speaking, in population, is a small state, right? It's not like California, where they have, they might have more licensed attorneys in California than they have all people in Oregon. That might
Yeah.
be an exaggeration, but so it's going to be a little extra difficult for you to find someone that is willing to deal with this type of stuff. See, all the lawyers in Oregon, they all do different types of things. Some may do criminal, some may do divorce, some may do civil litigation and uh, trusts and estates and wills and stuff like that. So the population of lawyers that can handle these types of cases gets smaller and smaller. um, I was just his name came in my mind and it's gone out again, but the attorney that I work with up in Oregon might be interested in your case, and if you want to, I'll have him give you a call. If you text me your name and number,
That
I'll
would be
have
great.
him.
That would be awesome.
Okay. um, as a matter of fact, I'm
Yes.
doing a family law case with him right now in Oregon, and
The
just
amount of proof that I have against them is it's crazy. I mean, of their foul stuff it's insane. It's almost comical.
you said you were having visitation and they stopped the visitation. What
Hmm.
happened there?
They just stopped it and said we were. I'm not. They just like literally just stopped it and said, "I'm sorry, you're not going to get your visits anymore because Tesla has stated that she wants to commit. I'm sorry, my daughter stated that she wants to commit suicide if she ever had to come back and see us again."
And of course, we believe that that's not true. The child would never say anything like that. Correct.
Lisa, I'm in Douglas County, Roseburg, Oregon.
No, the child never said anything like that.
No, I know that.
When I
I don't
started
believe that for a second.
when I started talking to Amy, it was before all this happened. So
Yeah.
I witnessed the child's connection with Amy. She had a very extreme um, closeness with Amy and Jeff.
Amy, were the visitations you had, were they court ordered?
No,
Okay.
they were just doing it as a favor to us due to the relationship that we have with her.
If they were court ordered, that might give you a limited type of standing. Have you ever talked to an attorney about filing for visitation, or for that
Mm,
matter, for custody?
no.
Well, try to spend some time with that particular search and see if you can find an attorney that's able to help you.
Okay.
Because making the motion for visitation and custody is a little harder, but making that motion is a pretty simple motion, straightforward type of thing. You make the
Oh,
motion, you show up in court, you argue
yeah.
the motion, the judge grants it or denies it.
Well, I think I'm, financially in a way to where I can probably hire an attorney now.
What are the big cities in your county?
We have Eugene. That's probably about it.
How far are
Maybe,
you
yeah. Huh?
how far are you from Portland?
Portland. Oh my gosh, we're like 3 hours, 4 hours away from there. They're about 3 hours north from here. Three or
Because
four, maybe 3 or 4
one of
hours.
one of the things that I learned was that Portland has a lot of attorneys. If you're looking for someone, and if you can find someone to come down to help you with your case, Portland may be a good place to start. And what I do, I tell people, if you talk to a lawyer and they say no, I can't help you, you might want to ask them to have 2 or 3 referrals of attorneys who might help you.
Okay.
So in all of those people that you called, you might want to backtrack and ask them if they can refer you to anyone. You'd be surprised. Not too long ago, I recently found a lawyer up in Northern California by doing that. Someone referred me to a lawyer, and I called him up, and he says, "No, I can't do it, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Well, do you have any referrals?" He said, "Yeah, by the way, I do." I got the name, called that person, and that attorney said, "Yeah, I can help you." So sometimes, even though the lawyer can't help you, he or she might be able to refer you to someone that can.
And this one in Bend, Oregon, that you are working with is.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was just
Just,
looking at. I was just looking. His name went out of my mind, but I found it on my phone. If you text me, I'll text me your name and number, and I'll
Okay.
have him call you. His name is Michael. His first name is Michael. I won't mention his last name, but he might be interested. He might be able to do it. The last time I talked to him, he was thinking of moving to Idaho. Does Idaho border Oregon?
Yes.
Yeah, he was thinking about moving to Idaho.
Yeah. I think weren't they talking about making that like part of Oregon or something?
I don't know.
I think they were.
Yeah, they were, Amy. You're right.
Yeah.
They were, but who knows? They need to fix their court system, because apparently everywhere in the United States is so corrupt. It's very sad.
Yeah.
And
You know what I was trying to figure out?
say what?
I said, you know what I was trying to figure out? You know what they were trying to do here in California?
Mm.
They were talking about splitting the state into 3 different states, like basically.
Oh my God.
It would make San Bernardino County its own state. So I'm like, how would that work with the court systems?
We can barely handle one state. He can. Oh my God. Yeah.
That's
Because
crazy.
they were talking about making it its own state.
When when are they gonna do that?
They had it on the ballot to vote, apparently.
I just been researching about children dying in CPS, as you know.
Well, I get news for everything, so that's what's on the nose.
I know, and yeah, that's basically what I have been doing. And I got a hold of an attorney on TikTok. She actually got a hold of me, and she said, "I know you," and I'm like, "Who are you?" I sent you a screenshot, Cassandra, last night of her name and her message. I was like, "Who is this lady?" She said she's an attorney in I think Riverside or near. No. Sorry, take that back. She's in San Diego. Yeah, and she had like a little TikTok video, and she's like, "Oh yeah, call me." I'm like, "Oh okay, whoever you are." But yeah, I was like just researching just about children dying in the system, and actually just a couple of days ago, CPS was reported of abuse and this and that. They would not touch the abuser. Literally would not touch the abuser. They left the abused kids with her, with the mom, and turned away. And then the mother ended up cutting the baby, 9 months baby, in pieces, and yeah, and then yeah. So I guess what I was telling you guys for a long time is that they do turn the other way when the actual abuser is there with the children. But they take the children from good people, while Americans, the rest of the world, think that they're taking children from bad people, which is sad. It's very, very sad, because the abusers are the ones who are keeping their children, which they end up dying at the end. So yes, CPS is very corrupt, and also the social worker that I was telling you guys about, that's my friend now. She said that in the training, they teach you the right way. In the training, once you get to the actual destination of your career, the supervisor tells you not to listen to the training, not to go by the training. You have to go by their rules, that department's rules. And I kid you
I
not.
can vouch for that one because I also have an ex-social worker friend who said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They have cutter case plans. They teach them to do all this stuff in regular like training in school, and then as soon as they get on the job, they're all like, "Oh well, we don't have the right enough people to do all this, so you got to do it like this." That's what their supervisors tell them, and then they don't pay attention to family reunification as much because it
Right.
takes more time to find family findings and all this other stuff.
Yep. So it's easier. She said to me, it's easier for the supervisor just to get you to put the child in a foster home because they get money from that. So every time the child is in the foster home, the state pays them more. Then if the child is with family members, they don't give that much effort as they would a payment to a foster parent who's not
Yeah.
And they
related
don't
to the child.
find to look for family findings either.
Yeah. So the county is
Their
looking for more
caseloads are
money.
too big.
Right. You got me, Cassandra. That's why I love you. You and I
Their
are.
caseloads are too big. If their caseloads wouldn't be so big if they would stop taking children from parents that don't deserve to be
Yep.
taken. And if they
Exactly.
stop
Money though.
the hotline, all they do is believe the hotline calls and don't really do any investigation because they're short staffed, and they have way too many caseloads. Like,
Because
But
they're
Cassandra,
calling. They're making
No.
they're calling, making false accusations against parents.
you guys, you don't understand. They make that excuse as is they're overloaded, they're overworked, but you don't understand. They want the money.
I have no doubt that they're overworked because you know how many fucking social workers have quit that fucking job lately?
My friend told me one of her colleague left recently, about a week ago. She quit recently, and she wants to introduce me to her as well. I want to get one of them on the show, seriously, but they have families, like I said to you guys. They want to. They're kind of reluctant about that, but I do want to get one of them on the show. I'm gonna keep talking to them until they get sick of me, maybe. But they have so much information, so much information, so much. I see text messages from supervisors to them. Text messages. I see pictures. Yeah, pictures. Do you guys know that 43% of the social workers have criminal record
What?
in LA County?
I haven't even heard they don't even have to graduate college
And they
or
brush it under
finish
the
high school.
no, wait, let me finish. The state brushes it under the table because they want staff that will be obedient to them. So what it is, they want to hold you. They know your record. They know that you can't get a job anywhere else, obviously, right? Life happens, right? Life happens. That's what the supervisor told one of the staff members. She said, "Oh, life happens. It's okay. We all make mistakes. But why don't you think about that when you go steal kids from their parents? Life happens, right? Domestic violence, life happens. Who doesn't argue? People argue
Yeah.
all the time. It doesn't mean that death is involved. It doesn't mean that you hate this person so much that you want to destroy their lives. Get it? It's just sad how they choose who they want to take the child from. And especially if the child is a baby. If the child is a baby. She showed me a picture of a lady, a mother, went to labor in the hospital. That picture was taken by a nurse. A nurse gave it to my friend, told her this is the baby that we want.
Oh shit.
Okay. That's when she quit her job because her supervisor allowed it to happen. See, there's so much depth you guys don't understand. There's a lot of depth involved. So, too much information. That's why they don't want to be on the show. Get it? Too much information. It is. Look, Susie even said it. You're right, Susie. You're right. I'm right. I know I'm right. I look at these things, you guys. I look at it
Yes.
with my own eyes. I don't talk unless I know. Get it? I
Yep.
don't want to say information that I'm not sure about. Maybe attorneys don't know it. That's okay, right? Because their job is to help people, right? They don't have time to research like we do, me and Cassandra. So we actually do that at night. Sometimes we don't sleep. We just research everything. But this shit is real.
Yeah.
The supervisor took a baby from a woman, a mother, in the hospital, lied and said the child, there's drugs in the mother's system, but the child doesn't have drugs in the system. So how did the mother? It doesn't make sense. And then the mother asked,
she had the baby, and then they probably gave her drugs after she had the baby.
it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, she wanted copy of that test, right? Because she doesn't do drugs. My friend told me, Georgette, these people are so twisted. They treat, like I said to you guys earlier, the training is perfect, but it's more than that. It's more than that. It's kind of like a facade, right? You go, okay, I'll give you an example. Kind of like dating. First date is perfect, right? First date is perfect. Then all of a sudden you find out he's a fucking narcissist, right? Then what happens? Your whole world crumbles, right? Same thing with the social workers. The training is perfect. Everything looks great. As soon as they go on the job, it's like you're dealing with a narcissist. Do you get it? Do you guys understand? It's like Dr. Hyde and Mr. Jekyll. Which one are we meeting today? Dr. Hyde or Mr. Jekyll? Am I right or wrong? I mean, there's so much involved. So,
and the ones that actually stay in the job obviously are just as big of a piece of shit as the supervisors that are telling them to do it.
You know, I agree with you, Cassandra, but like my friend and her colleague that just quit, they chose not to stay there because of the
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The ones that choose not to stay in that situation are okay, but the other ones that are choosing to stay in that office and continue to listen to that piece of shit supervisor are just as big a piece of shits as they are.
Exactly. But you know what's so sad? My friend also told me that some of the social workers were across, right? And I said, okay, well, okay. Like, I didn't know where she was coming with this. She said, Georgette, they wear the cross as a kind of like misleading. They only wear it when they're going to a Christian home. They know it's a Christian home. They know it. And
They
then
wear crosses when they came to my house.
They did or didn't?
They did. Yeah, she had a cross on.
Yeah, but it's so weird. And I asked her, what does that mean exactly? She said, well, the cross is deceiving because they want the parent to trust them. Because Christian parents think, okay, well, she's Christian. She understands, you know, God's love, values, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's just deceiving. It's to deceive.
Well, there's people that say they're Christian and aren't fucking Christian.
They're not. Look,
like they're like, I've seen a lot of people lately talking on
YouTube,
like TikTok and stuff like that they say they're Christian, but there's no way you're a Christian if you judge somebody that fucking much. Like,
no, I am, like, for example, I'm Christian, right? But I do know I have a weakness. I when it comes to CPS, I tend to cuss a lot. All right, because I hate them. I just hate
them fucking evil little bastards.
And kids. So I do cuss a lot. Sometimes my cousin is watching the show, or my ex-boss is watching the show. He's like, I never heard you cuss before. And I'm like, that's true, huh? They change your I don't know. They put you in a position where it's kind of like, I don't know, explain it to you guys, but
I know how to explain it, but I'm not going to do it on YouTube.
I hate them so much. And I told my ex-boss, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to cuss. I'm going to try very hard not to cuss as much. But I do, every time I think about them, I just wish I have the power, or I was a genie in the bottle, right? And I can just blink my eye and they're gone. No more CPS. No more. And everybody's happy. Everybody have their kids. I wish I can do that. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't do that. But again, all I'm telling you guys is that it's not what you guys think. Some of you guys, especially the American folks who's never been in the system or never experienced the system, it's not what you think it is. Your tax dollars is not going for the right cause. Your tax dollars is going to in their pockets. In their pockets. The state and the counties. To me, what is the judge's job? What does the judges do, right? They listen. They look at, documents, right? Evidence, whatever. and they judge fairly, correct? There is no such thing. That's not the judge's job in America. That state judge, all he wants or she wants is money, power, control. Who do they give the power to also is the social workers.
Social workers,
Yeah,
They listen to them.
they listen to them. The judges take their recommendations. Then the judges are rude to family and say, shut up or be quiet.
Yeah.
Sit down. They talk to the parents like they are crazy, when in fact the judges are crazy. I have no respect for anyone in the legal system. No one. Because
You want
there's
to
corruption, but
you
they
want to
don't
know
do anything. What?
you want to know something? I just realized. Okay, the last time I went to court, right? We all know the last time I went to court. Okay, that was the first time ever, okay? The first time ever that I've heard the judge say, well, I think or I feel, instead of the department feels or the department wants this. He actually said, the judge actually said, well, this is how I feel. That's crazy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to know why it is? Because I don't have a public defender anymore.
That's a good point you just made.
I don't have a public defender anymore. So the judge is going to say, oh, okay, she's actually got somebody outside of our little system. So I better act like a fucking real judge.
There you go. But see, you guys, it's not just anybody though, because judges know which attorney does their job and which attorney will bend over and give his behind.
Yep.
So basically, it's not anybody. I have seen, oh my God, the court system is so bad. It's so freaking bad. It's so bad. They celebrate. Social workers celebrate in front of the mother.
I saw all three of them. I saw three of them.
Yeah,
Casino,
crying
drinking.
in front of them after the court, laughing and hugging, and oh, girl, where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go drink tonight? My friend showed me videos. I'm telling you, I never thought in a million years they would actually do that in court, but they do. In court, in front of the judge after the hearing. And the judge would ask, so what are we going to eat today? So who's going to bring this today? What?
I'm going to eat your ass. We're going to eat mine.
Yeah, exactly. That's insanity to me. To me, it's insanity. But there's I think Nadine made a point here. She said the churches are funded by the government too. Not true. Not true. I am Coptic Orthodox Christian, example. I'm Egyptian, but I'm not Catholic. I do understand that Catholics maybe, Catholic churches maybe, but not all the churches. What?
Amy, are you feeling the same way I am? Is that why you shut up?
Why? Why? Talk to me. What happened?
I don't want to start the argument.
Cassandra, your laugh is so contagious. I love you. Okay, maybe I'm wrong because Cassandra now she's okay. That's okay.
Nadine, I get where you're coming from. I get you, Nadine.
Okay, Nadine,
Amy gets it, but Miss G doesn't understand. She's a little naive to the system. She's learning though. She's learning. Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. Maybe I'm naive when it comes to churches, but not the system.
Okay, no. I'm not going to bring it up, but I just want to know one question I've never asked you before. How do you feel about Roe versus Wade? Miss G. Yeah. You don't have to answer on air. You can tell me later, but I just want to know. Because then I'll tell you what I'm thinking if you are a certain.
I'm going to tell you. I don't mind telling anyone. I have nothing to hide.
Okay.
I know what people think. You know that. So, in my opinion, right? My
Mhm.
opinion, God told us not to judge anyone, right? God told us to love people for who they are, not to judge them. Who are we to say what you can and cannot do with your body? That's between you and your creator. It's not between you and the government. That's the way I think. So, if we are human, right, we bleed just like they bleed. Everybody bleeds the same way. We all have the same size coffin, and we're all not going to have a U-Haul behind us into our grave, right? So who are we to judge others on what they should or shouldn't do? Again, to me, I don't agree with that. Because if there's Christian people that actually judge other people for doing that, then shame on them. Because God said, don't judge, lest you be judged. And the same amount measure you judged, it would be measured onto you. So basically, you're going against God, but you're calling yourself Christians, and that's where the misleading comes. So other people look at you as a Christian and say, I don't want to be a Christian. This is crazy. He's crazy. Why is they telling me what to do with my body? You can't force your belief on others. That's where God is. God is the judge
Exactly.
and the jury. God is
Okay.
not, you're not the judge and the jury of somebody else's body. That's the only.
Exactly. So
Okay.
Nadine is saying churches are funded by government too, because most of the Christians that are pro-life
Mm-hmm.
and not pro-choice are the reason why Roe versus Wade got turned over, and that's how they're, they're pushing their religion onto people that, and it's not the right religion because they're judging people, and that's not right. That's not how Christians act. They don't judge people. You don't judge somebody for doing something, and that is right there. It was why churches are funded by the government, she's saying, is because the Christians that are pushing this freaking pro-life shit, it's because of the government. And I have a lot of feeling that the government isn't wanting people to get abortions so they have more babies so they can put more babies in the system. That's how I feel.
Wow. I'm so sorry, you guys. I honestly, I only go to my church, you guys. I don't go to anybody else's church. I mean, I go to my Egyptian church, so we don't think like that. We always say don't judge people. And actually, that was something the priest was talking about. Like, why are we judging those women that want to have an abortion? Why are we doing that? The public shouldn't do that, right? And it makes sense to me. So we shouldn't be judging anyone. And now I get it, Cassandra and Nadine. I didn't know. I'm sorry. So I guess I only speak from what I know to be true for me. But like I said, I don't belong to a Catholic church or a
No,
Baptist.
but a lot of people use Christianity as a fucking way to judge people and feel like they have the power. Like Christian people nowadays, that's why I don't say
themselves Christians.
kind of religion, because I'm, yeah, no, I don't want to be associated with those kind of people.
No.
Because they're good people. I'm not, bash me all you want on this shit. I don't give a fuck. That's how I feel, and I'm going to speak how I feel, okay? Like, when you guys stop judging people and stop telling people that they're not the child of God because they want to fucking do something,
I don't like
that's
Christians
when I
like
feel.
that. I don't like Christians like that. I honestly don't.
No,
I
don't be
don't
pushing
I
that
don't
shit
care.
around.
I don't care. If God tells you not to do it, how can you be a Christian and do it? Right? To me, you can't do both. You can't be hot and cold, right? I mean, at once. You can't do that. So if God says don't do it and you're doing it and you call yourself Christian, then you're not really a Christian.
Yeah.
Even
Then again,
Jesus said,
I'm not judging, I'm not judging those people. They want to do that, go ahead. If that's how you want to represent yourself, go for it. Go for it.
Do
I'm
you?
not judging either, I'm not, you guys can be like that if you guys want to be like that, but I know how I'm going to act, and I'm not going to judge everybody.
mm-hmm.
But if you're choosing to do that, go for it. Go for it.
Yep. I agree.
I'm not judging either. I'm not judging you for being like that. But if you want to, go for it.
It's not our call, you guys. The government is making it their call. It's not our call. And they shouldn't encourage it either. See, what I hate about our government, another thing I hate, it's a lot of things I hate. they are actually teaching children, preschoolers, about how to have sex with a male, same-sex person. They're talking about how, why,
They're
why,
teaching them that there are 50 something genders now
why you have books like that in preschool about gays and lesbians.
because
Why are
they
you
are
forcing a
grooming them.
child to fucking choose if they're
Grooming
a boy
them.
or a girl? You bastards. You fucking bastard. They can't even
Sick fucks.
wipe their own ass by themselves. And you're teaching them about gays and lesbian in school? I don't know
Fucking
what
preschool.
happened to our fucking society, but when I was growing up, and there comes the cussing. Sorry, Amir. But what happened to our society is that,
We're fucked.
yeah,
Our future, we're fucked. Generation, we're fucked.
we're fucked. We're fucked. We are fucked. Because people are so, oh my God. And then they hide behind their religion and shit. That's what it's like. I'm going to say it. Mm,
Go ahead.
Don't say it.
I saw,
You've already said too much. Don't say it.
you know exactly what I'm going to say. I know you know. This girl can read my mind. Cassandra is crazy. You and I can.
You've already said too much. Don't say it.
Okay. Well,
Certain things that you just cannot say on the internet and not expect to get. Just don't say it.
okay. I'm not going to say it, but it is crazy. And I'm going to say this much, that I have seen a government official who actually did the cross sign on TV. And that government official that did that, like they went like this. And I'm like, how can you do that in front of the camera? You're such a show off. Such a show off. Because if you are actually with God, you wouldn't do what you're doing.
Yeah, you wouldn't be there.
You wouldn't do this. You
Yeah.
would make a difference. You would be a leader that makes a difference, that actually does the right thing for the people. People
Well,
don't care about this. People
no.
want action. They don't want your religion. They don't
Georgia,
care about your religion. That's all I'm saying. That's
Georgia,
all I'm saying. What?
before before the birth mother moved out of here, since the case was, I guess, changed over to trying to change it to permanency, adoption, or whatever. She got assigned a new caseworker, right? And she came over here to my home and she knocked on my door, and I invited her in. That bitch would not come in for nothing, and she wouldn't look me in the eyes. But then again, I just realized, that's what happens when evil steps in front of you. They can't go around people that are good, good people. It's just, there's no reason for her to not come into my home. And then the attorney I guess the same attorney for both her son and her daughter, Tesla, is sorry, I keep saying her name. The one that's appealing the termination or whatever. She wasn't calling Stacy, and she wasn't saying anything. She didn't know nothing. And so I called her and left her a nasty voicemail. I said, "Boy, if this is the way appeal attorneys work, then you are a piece of shit and you ought to be fired. And I think I will fire you if you don't call me back or call Stacy back within a couple of days, because it was Friday." Mm-hmm. She called her back within 5 minutes. She even showed up at my house.
I saw the paperwork that you just texted me, Amy.
Yeah.
I just looked at it right now.
Yeah. You can send it and show it to Cassandra if you want.
I am actually. I'm gonna show it.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll trip you out.
I'll send it later. But my friend is watching the show, you guys. She just texted me. She said you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Keep exposing them. We're gonna have to come up with a solution where Yumi and your friend Cassandra can expose them in other ways.
Yep.
That's the my friend, the one that used to be a social worker, guys.
I wonder if we could get like a hold of like some kind of like news station or a journalist or something somewhere.
No, we're gonna do it a different way. She's gonna let us know. Oh, she said, "Hey, my name is
Hi,
Cassandra.
Cassandra.
Cassandra number two. I have two friends called named Cassandra, right? I have a friend, a long-time friend, Cassandra. I texted her thinking I'm texting this Cassandra. Last night, I'm like, disregard. And I'm like, oh man, I always do that. And there's another Cassandra. We're surrounded by Cassandras, guys. That's a good thing, though, because I love
Cassandra.
Cassandra. I love my Cassandra. That's my baby, my
Yeah,
girl.
it's a good name. I like it. I've had it for 32 years now. I think it's a cool name, you know.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
And I love
my
Wait,
dad actually named me.
I'm
And
so glad.
it was only because he was head over heels for Elvira, the Mistress of Darkness, because her real name is Cassandra Peterson.
What?
He was so in love with her, and he named her after her.
Aw.
Oh, look what Cassandra said. I am super excited to learn something here. Oh, you'll learn a lot, baby. Just
Yep,
keep
you will.
watching and write down everything, or rewatch the video after and write down what we say. I've never seen you on the show before, Cassandra, but this
If you're
Cassandra and I are gonna. I have my own shows, and I'm gonna start doing them again starting Monday.
Oh yeah, FYI, everybody, we're gonna do our own shows again.
Yes,
Yay!
and I'm gonna start doing
We're
them.
coming back.
Yeah,
Nice.
so it's gonna be real talk, and basically what it is sharing with you guys the real stories. The thing about some of the shows is that people sometimes are afraid to give too much information, and especially if they're just on the show to get advice from an attorney, right? So kind of it's limited. But what me and Cassandra will do on the show is speak our mind, and we're not gonna give information unless we're certain it's true. Like me, I make sure that, like my friend, for example, before I believed that she was an ex-social worker, I met with her. I know where she lives. I know everything about her family. I've seen text messages. I actually saw her enrollment paperwork to the department. I kid you not. Her on board papers. I saw her insurance, benefits, everything before I made the decision to trust her. So every time she would give me information, I look at it. I make sure it's right, because I can trust anyone, but I can't do that, especially if I'm sharing it with you guys. And that's why the government wants people to shut them up. And that's why she doesn't want to be on the show, because she's afraid she's going to, of course, you can't show your face if if you worked for the department or still work for the department. Because if you show your face, right? Think about it. How can you
I
be
think
employed? How can
you
you
know
still
what?
be employed? There's no way. You think social workers don't watch my show? Oh, they watch my show. Oh, they do. So, but I'm not.
You know what,
I don't
Missy?
care. Honestly, It doesn't matter with me.
We're gonna have to end the show here soon. But anyways, like I said, this little threesome right here, I agree. This would be good TV. Okay, all three of us would just make the perfect hosts together. Because I love Amy. I
I
love
love you
you.
guys so much.
I don't love Amy. Who is this Amy? I don't
I've
care.
been missing you guys so much.
I don't love Amy. Sorry, Amy. I don't love you. I don't even know who you are. I do love you, Amy. I
I'm
do.
almost done with my GED. I'm
Hey,
almost done with
there's
school.
Jeff. I want to say hi to Jeff because we have to close the
Jeff,
show. I just want to
come
say hi.
here. She wants to
And
say hi.
Jimmy.
And Jimmy.
And Jimmy.
Where is Jimmy? I don't know. He's out there.
You look like you just woke up, man.
He did.
I love Jeff. What about Jimmy? Where's Jimmy?
Jimmy!
We had a shitty day yesterday. Oh no.
What? Oh my God, the bird.
I'm gonna go put him up.
No, it's okay. Leave it. We're gonna close the show. Amy, it's okay.
Okay.
That's the damn bird. Oh my
He's
God.
gotten better though.
Jimmy's probably out in the garage. He can't hear me.
Okay, so look at the bird. It's such a cute bird, but oh my God, it's so loud. I want to kill it.
He's changed a lot since we moved.
Really? So she's not as vocal?
Mm-mm.
Then she likes the place.
Yeah, he does.
Or he?
Yeah.
I love it. But you know what? I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you stop the pooping? If you let it fly in the home, doesn't it?
I don't let him stay up there. I keep him in the bedroom on his playpen. He has a little playpen in there.
So he knows where to go if he wants to do his business?
Oh, he does. He does it. But I'm telling you what, it's not hard. I just get up there and clean it up. Or if he does, trust me, I'm a neat freak. You're not gonna find any bird shit in this house.
Okay. No, I know you're a neat freak.
Maybe in his playpen, but that's
I just said you're a neat freak. I agree with you. Cassandra said I just want to answer this. Cassandra said, I lost my firstborn daughter. We need a pathway in every state to reunite parents down the road after termination occurs.
Amen.
Honey, we need to stop it before the termination occurs.
I know, but that
awareness. We need to bring awareness, and people need to listen. Listen, because we're not here, right? Just to give you BS talk. You guys need to listen. Do not trust what the social workers are telling you. Do not think
they lie. Going
to actually reunify you with your child or children. They're
not.
Brainwash
your kids.
Even if they tell you, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. So just be aware of that. That's it.
Do not speak to them without your attorney present.
Well, ever. Amy, first of all, attorneys, no. Well, if they have a court-appointed attorney, they're not going to be present. So,
sure,
they can't force them.
First things first, hire a private attorney. Second step, only talk. Okay, there you go. First step, this one. Second step, that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess since I decided that they were foul in court, I guess I need to probably look for someone who's going to do civil, right? Be civil. Yeah, civil rights lawsuit. You go federal, right?
Rights attorney. Yeah, but Amy, I honestly believe you have a good case, but I'm not. I'm not a civil attorney, so I don't know. But I do believe you have a good case because I did speak about your case with another attorney.
I forgot to ask Mr. Davis about that too. Like you said, you enrolled that little girl in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So as you were a little girl, if you put her in school, you were the little girl's parent or legal guardian at that time, right? On the paperwork?
On the paperwork, yeah.
So that should be having standing.
Yeah. And I have that paperwork.
You were all in the school as the paperwork and you apply or you put her in school in your name.
Mm-hmm.
That can automatically make you, because you said to be a legal guardian, you signed as legal guardian to that child, that should give you standing. But I'm not sure, I'm not an attorney, but like from what I'm hearing from him, I believe that would be standing enough to do a civil case. But you'd have to ask him about that. I wanted to ask him before he disappeared off the screen, but you know, I didn't get a chance. But yeah, for me, like they're asking, like when I was trying to enroll my girls at the school, I'm pretty sure they ask you, are you the legal guardian? Is there any other, like, you know, people involved in this or whatnot? Do you have legal papers? Like you obviously had her birth certificate, her immunization records, right? In order to enroll her into school.
Yeah.
She has it on the wall.
Well, I did. I had it back there, but I put it up. But
yeah.
So therefore, if you enrolled her in school, that would be legally you showing that you were her legal guardian at the time.
Yeah.
From my view, I'm not an attorney. From my point of view, I would think that would be enough.
Yeah. I even took her to Oklahoma with me when she was 2, which is me and her. We flew to Oklahoma and stayed out there for a few weeks and with my cousins, and no problem.
You know what? Honestly, you guys, we need to, like I said, my friend, the ex-social worker, we're gonna come up with something to stop this. I can't talk about it. I'm working on it, but I'm doing something. And Cassandra's gonna be in the loop, and Amy will be in the loop for her state. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to collect as many people from each state. So one person or two from each state that have connection with other parents who are fighting the system. So there's a lot we can do. The exposure can be done, but we just can't talk about it on social media.
Yeah.
You don't want them to know what
we're
we
doing.
need to expose them. They are going to be exposed, believe me, because they are. Currently, they are being exposed. It's just not as much as I hoped for.
Yeah, Mr. Davis said that there was a lot of lawsuits going on right now with the CP or DHS here.
I don't care about that. I'm talking about exposing the social workers, exposing them on national, like on live feed, like exposing them, like the other social worker.
I would love to do that. Oh God, I would love to do that.
Social worker that that was telling a teenager, and the teenager had her on camera to go prostitute herself, and she got her a motel room. That was in Texas. So that social worker did that in front of the building where she works at. So basically, that social worker is a freaking supervisor. And that social worker, right, would not have been exposed without the exposure of the camera, right? Yeah. You guys have to understand they want you silent, but don't keep silent. Don't do that. They want us all silent, but we have to fight them in a way. I'm not saying go kill them. Don't do that. I'm not saying violence is the answer. Please don't. I'm talking about exposing the ugliness in a healthy way. Okay?
That sounds great.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So let's focus on that. And please hire. See, do you see what I'm talking? The bird. There's no way I can do any shows with you, Amy. There's no way.
Well, first of all, Jeff wasn't supposed to let him out of the room. No, I'll take care of that. I was doing really good.
Nope.
Jeff, come get this bird.
I told you that 2 years. I've been telling you this.
He has his own room. He can go get shut up in and that no whining sign.
Jeff,
I got a sign that says no whining.
Kill the bird, Jeff. Kill the bird.
He's gonna whack him on the head with it.
Jeff, cook it for breakfast with a couple of eggs, Jeff.
Some chicken.
And chicken, eggs and chicken or sausage, whatever. And the bird. I hate that bird. Oh my God. How much I hate that bird. Amy, no, see? That I'm not going to shut the show just to show you guys. I mean, Amy, you got to get rid of the bird. And she lied to us. She said, oh, the bird is fine after I moved in.
It's Jeff's fault.
She's not.
It's Jeff's fault.
Well, she did go throughout the whole show until you made her. Okay, I'll stick it up for Amy because until you made her call out Jeff, the bird was just fine.
First of all, don't blame your husband. Don't blame the man. Take accountability.
No, we're not blaming her husband. We're blaming you.
You better be quiet. I mean, you better shut up. You better be quiet if you're going to be up there. Jeff,
you take accountability for that because she was fine until you're like, where's Jeff? Where's Jeff? And then the bird came out. So I'm blaming you. You take accountability.
Shut up. I don't like you anymore. I'm divorcing you tomorrow.
I don't think you should be mean to Amy. No, I'm sticking up for Amy. She's just here once in a while, and you're being mean.
Oh,
Amy, I got
Georgette, you know the
See, I'm saying this is
idea.
good entertainment. People are watching.
him.
see what I mean?
I got it.
He's
I
still
got it.
trying to get the bird. Jeff, poor Jeff. Poor Jeff. There's no way I will ever have a bird in my house. I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay.
One of
let's
us
see
will
here.
live here, either me or the bird. I can't have both. I
The
can't.
bird wrangler, he did it.
Yeah,
See,
you
no
I did
bird. You don't hear no bird.
No, she did it, not Jeff.
Oh, she did it. Okay. Well, either way, they're good bird wranglers, and they did it, and now you can't hear a bird.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's just stuck at my ass. That bird's still
just
stuck
be
at my ass.
quiet. Anyways, you guys, we're gonna have to look. We're 16 minutes up. So, anyways, I love you guys. I can't wait to see you guys on the show next week. I will have the show producer posted online, and hopefully, I'll see you guys, and we'll be able to talk more. Oh, Susan said.
Are you
Susie
going to call me later, Georgette?
Good show. Susie, thank you, sweetheart. And next week, God willing, keep tuned. What are you saying, Amy? Because I have to shut the show.
So are you going to call me later?
Me calling you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you.
Okay.
I'm gonna call you.
I want your contact information, Cassandra.
Okay.
I'll give you mine. You can contact me.
You could give it to her. Miss G has it.
Okay.
I have it. I'll send it to you. I'll
Okay.
copy paste and I'll send it to you.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Love you guys.
Good seeing you. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Georgette. Love
Anytime.
you guys.
I love you. We love you. And I love you.
I do. I love you guys. You're
I
awesome.
love you. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody loves each other. Woo! Okay, bye, guys.
Bye, you guys.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Yeah.